I've got big news, and bass players everywhere should be excited about this. It used to be just this pickup, but now it's this pickup. So what's the difference? I'm so glad you asked. Let's get into it. I've been so grateful to have endorsement deals from some of my favorite gear companies throughout my music career, but there's one company that's had my unwavering loyalty since day one, and that's EMG Pickups. EMG Pickups, I think, took a chance on me back in 2012 when I first joined Scale the Summit, and I've been proud to spread the EMG gospel ever since. Growing up, all of my favorite players in rock and metal used EMG Pickups, so getting the chance to represent them was honestly a dream come true. Fast forward about 13 years now, and I can confidently say their pickups have become an essential part of my sound. If you like the bass tone on this record, or even this record, it's been EMG Pickups every single time. Now, I always try to get a set of EMG Pickups into every bass I own, but the problem is pickups come in a zillion slightly different sizes. And usually, if you want EMG soap bar pickups in a bass, you're looking at expensive routing jobs or maybe something pretty risky if you try it yourself, which, trust me, is really terrifying. Actually, recently I hired someone to route one of these Jacksons and it almost didn't survive the process. It was an accident. I get it, things happen, but just kind of goes to show you the risk involved having to do this every time. Okay, Mark, shut up and get to the point. What's the big news? Well, starting tomorrow, August 27th, I no longer have to cut holes in my basses just to put my favorite pickups in them. This isn't just a new pickup shape. It's actually something entirely new from EMG altogether. The brand new E-Series. The E-Series use EMG's new candy bar soap bar sizing, but what also makes them different is what's on the inside. They didn't just make a new pickup size. EMG actually designed a completely new voicing, and for the first time ever, they made a wide aperture single coil with ceramic magnets. Now, the guys over at the bass channel had this really cool magnet detection glass or something. I've actually never seen this before, but you can see how the magnet is much thicker and much wider than a standard single coil. Don't forget to check out the bass channel and go subscribe. They always put out very top-notch stuff. But anyway, you combine all of this with EMG's solderless wiring system. Seriously, it's plug and play like connecting a car stereo. And you're looking at one of the easiest and most versatile upgrades you can make to your bass. Swapping out pickups is now quicker than a string change. And since they're active pickups, you still get all of the benefits EMG are known for. No buzz, no hum, and compatibility with their entire lineup of EQs and preamps and pickups for even more tonal shaping. Okay, let's go to the workbench over here and install these puppies. Here's a completely stock Jackson Spectra X series, straight from the factory, no mods. In the past, EMG pickups were always just a little too big for this shape, but not anymore. Check this out. Let's pop these in. And voila, that's it. No sharp tools, no burned fingers, no swear jar required. Most of the time on import instruments, the wood and the build quality are pretty solid, and most reputable brands will take the same CNC machine they have domestically and send it overseas, and they will even go there and impart their own quality control. I know this firsthand. What makes cheaper basses feel cheap to me has always been the electronics in the pickups. Sometimes they hum or crackle or they just sound kind of dull. And upgrading those will massively improve the quality, the sound, and the response of your bass. I will say that import instruments have come such a long way in the last 10 years. I mean, I mostly play those in my videos. They sound great, they feel great. But I will say, upgrading the pickups and the electronics will just improve the instrument tenfold. That's exactly what I did with this green Jackson that you've seen me playing in just about every video. In 2020, I took this thing on tour with Tony McAlpine, and the only mod I made was swapping the stock pickups and electronics for EMG stuff. Massive difference. So let's hear what these pickups sound like. I'm going to do a few playing examples with just bass by itself, just dry, nothing added to it, so you can hear the fundamental tone and what these pickups sound like, and then we'll do a few playing examples in a full mix setting in context. I'm going to A/B these pickups against the stock pickups that came in this bass, and then I'm going to do a second comparison with my Green Jackson, which is another EMG loaded bass. And then you can kind of hear how they sound against the stock pickups and then against another set of popular EMG pickups. And all the onboard EQ and tonal options are at the center detents, so nothing should be coloring the tone in any way, shape, or form. The stock pickups and preamp on this Jackson have a coil tap, so I'm going to switch it into single coil mode to be a little closer in tone and output to the E-Series pickups. Also note that both of my EMG loaded basses have the exact same BQS preamp system installed, and the only difference is the pickups themselves. Off we go. Now, let's hear these comparisons in a full mix setting. I think it's a lot more fun. I am going to be running through my Helix this time. However, each preset is going to be the same for all three playing examples on each bass. So for each song, it's going to be a different preset, but it's going to be the same preset for each. Dry DI bass just never sounds good in a full mix setting, so I've got to bring them to life a little bit, but you should still be able to have an idea of how each pickup set differs. For more information on the new E-Series pickups, hit the very top link in my video description below. All the technical specifications of the pickups are also included if you're curious about that. And while you're there, get yourself a set. You heard?